How did that even like fizzle out? Or did you like have a frank discussion with him and...
No, I just stopped responding to his texts.
You ghosted him?
I'm a terrible person.
Girl,
yeah.
you ghosted the nice guy who does accounting?
This is why nice guys become fuckboys. Because girls start ghosting them, and then they're like, you know what?
That's not
Fuck
actually
being a nice
true.
guy.
I feel like there are guys that
You know, Hush Mama,
just are fuckboys.
how many fuckboys did you create in your life?
I don't think I've created any.
Probably like at least 7.
No.
Tani? Joy? Tani?
Yes,
You
good
are?
night.
Damn, shut down very quickly.
Really shut down.
Yeah.
That's such a cute little response
But that's usually how I respond.
to all the booty call texts you get.
Yes, hence my relationship status.
Okay. Well, before we get to that, I want to introduce our guest today, Joy, real quick. Joy and I go way back. We met when we were like 11. And she grew up in Thailand, fun fact.
Turn up.
And now you literally just moved back to Korea and
Yeah.
you were in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just like give us like a few liners on who you are, I guess, other than everything I just said.
Okay. Hi, I'm Joy. I recently moved back to Korea. I think it's officially 2 months now.
Fresh off the boat.
Fob.
But it's like reverse fob because you're coming back to,
Still
Home,
fresh
that's
off
not
the
home.
boat.
yeah.
Yeah. So 2 months feels like I've been here like 2 years already. I lived in the States for the past 8 years. So it's like
Where in the States?
so I started off in Pennsylvania.
Oh, right.
And then we were like in the same state for a while. Yeah. And then I moved to Michigan because I transferred. And then I worked there for the past 4 years. So I really lived in the States for like a third of my life. So I don't even know who I am anymore. I
Yeah.
don't even know where I'm from.
Typical third culture kid
Yep.
dilemma.
Aren't we all?
Oh, also Joy is a teacher, so she's an educator of the youths.
The preteens.
Oh, the preteen. Really? Are you doing
Lord.
middle school?
No, I'm doing 5th grade right now.
Oh, fun year.
How's that going?
Her face is just like,
It's going.
Yeah.
it just went dark.
Yeah, her facial expression explains everything.
I like the young ones.
Okay, so why don't we, off of that note, launch into your relationship status? Because we ask all of our zzani guests, what is your current relationship status?
I am single as fuck.
Okay.
And I've...
Single AS. Oh, wait, no, F.
AF.
Yes.
And
This
I've,
is Saturday morning. I'm still working on my coffee.
And
excuse.
I've never been in a serious relationship.
Huh. Okay.
Whatever that means.
So yeah, that's interesting. I feel like we can definitely get into that.
Yeah, and you are also 27, same as Hush Mama.
I am.
Right.
Thank you for broadcasting that.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I feel
But
confident. That's
I
a good
think age is quite relevant in this
It
discussion.
is.
You know,
It is.
Because
And
of
also,
our life
Like
stage. and-
mid to late 20s is a very interesting year. Like when I was young, I thought by 25 I'd be married,
what
be
every girl
settled,
thinks.
have kids, and I'm 25 and girl, I'm broke as hell. I don't
Aren't
even
we
know.
all?
Yeah.
No, but honestly, it's so funny. Like
Life.
every girl you talk to, like everyone thought we'd have at least one kid before 30 because everyone wants to have one kid before you're like 30. And I don't even know where we get that idea.
I don't either.
So where are you guys on that now?
It's a
Very
fucking no
far.
for me. Yeah.
A
Very
hard
far.
pass on the kids
Oh,
before
no, no,
30.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like way too soon.
What about marriage?
I mean, we can get into that later, but for now, why don't we talk about a little bit more about Joy's like single as fuck status? Like, so I know you have a lot of friends. Joy's like a really fun person to hang around with.
Oh, thanks. I try.
You have a lot of guy friends. Like, what do you?
I do.
Do you like tend to date from your friend pool or?
So yeah, I do have a lot of guy friends. Like since high school, like I've just felt more comfortable around guys. Like they're not as dramatic as girls, and it's because I'm dramatic. I don't need to be surrounded by dramatic people all the time. But it's weird. Like the guys who express interest in me,
They're never your friends.
they usually always start out as friends.
Oh, okay.
But like when I consider a guy my friend, like I show him my friends like all my cards. Like I
Yeah.
don't do the typical like daesung thing. I don't even know how to flirt. So it's like I'm just, totally being myself, which is
Yeah.
I guess where guys kind of like get a hint that I could be interested, but I'm really not.
Oh, because you're so friendly.
Yeah. And I'm like, I have no walls. I have no barriers.
I can't confirm. I mean, earlier she said desung. That's like that's the word you use when a girl is kind of like, how do you say it? Like acting differently, like acting more feminine, like, oh my God, I'm so scared. Help me, oppa. Like, I don't know. How would you describe nesung?
Like, I can't open this water bottle.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Like, I need a man.
Yeah. Or like when you go out to eat, like, oh my goodness, I'm so full after you ate like 2 strands of pasta.
Yeah.
And then at home you have like
but
2 bowls of
But that's not actually who you are. I mean, if that's who you are, then that's fine, girl.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if that's not who you are, but you just act like that in front of guys, that's like nesung. But yeah, can confirm you have absolutely no nesung.
I really don't.
Which I love.
I don't know. But sometimes I'm like, maybe I got to work on that.
So would you say that you prefer maybe getting into dates or relationships while being a friend first? Or would you say maybe like just straight up like having that heat and that passion off the get-go is something that's interesting for you?
Yeah. So when I was younger, I think I wanted that heat. But I think as I get older, I realize like comfort is really important for me because that's how I can be truly myself. So, people say like as you get older, like you really tend to gravitate towards people who make you comfortable and who really like let you be who you are. And I think that's where I am. So maybe that's, I don't know, I kind of start off as friends, but then it's also really weird because I have so many of my friends who are like friends and they started dating, and it's just like even from like a third person, it's like, oh my God, we were friends and all hanging out, and now you guys are like
that's so
out.
interesting. Talking about the late 20s, there is a trending word these days in Korea. It's not like a new word, but 다정한 남자. How often have you guys heard 다정한 남자? It's
a lot.
And I'm pretty sure that word hasn't been used as much as it is now.
Really?
Which is like basically it means.
It's a good word because it's not just a nice guy.
It's like the thoughtful,
right?
It's
A
like
thoughtful,
the sensitive
warm,
guy,
sensitive guy that's there for. Like it's such a loaded word, and girls love it because it's what. Who doesn't want a 다정한 남자?
I
like,
love
is there
me
any girl?
a 다정한 남자.
Yeah.
Every girl knew.
Every girl wants a 다정한 남자, but I also think that's problematic because it's like, well, you're asking for something that nobody actually doesn't not want.
Right.
Oh,
So then it's like, what are you actually really wanting? Because you're being very vague. You're being very idealistic.
Well,
that's interesting.
but I feel like at the same time, it's not vague. Okay, maybe if you just say, oh, I just like want a sweet, thoughtful guy, then yeah, that is idealistic. But for me, I do actually prioritize that trait in a guy.
Sure. There's a lot of really nice guys, sweet, but girls aren't attracted to them.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, so there are people that say that, people like me, but I actually have a really like relevant set of traits that I tie in with the whole 다정한 vibe. So it's not like I'm just throwing it around. Oh, it's like some dream man out there. It's like, yeah, this person has to be very blah, blah, blah. Like, you get what I mean? Like,
Well,
it is
this
a tangible...
is exactly what I'm talking about. 다정한 남자 is something that every girl wants, but at the same time, it means something a little bit different for everyone.
It does.
Yeah,
and
it really does.
It's really loaded. And a lot of times girls say, I want a 다정한 남자 in a very like simplistic way. Like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm not looking for much. I just want a 다정한 남자. But
And then that has like 15 things.
Exactly. That in and of itself
That
is
is me.
very, very complicated and not so easy to find.
But then that's also in contrast to the trend of 나쁜 남자.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and-
so
yeah.
everybody wanted the bad boy, and now everybody wants the sweet guy.
It's true. Because we are coming out of an era of the 나쁜 남자, I think. I think 다정한 남자 is trending, but no one really knows what that means.
Because every girl has different definitions of
Exactly.
what 다정한 means.
But same, every girl also had different definitions of what a bad boy was.
Yeah.
Like, I had a friend that she literally thought a bad boy was like a guy that didn't go to church. And she's like, oh, that's like, I like bad
the
boy.
epitome of
Oh
bad
my
boy.
Yeah, I
God.
know.
Oh my God.
He doesn't do anything on Sundays.
Yeah, he's like such a bad boy. He like
literally
skips
doesn't
church.
go to church.
No, because she's such a sweetheart. She's one of my really close friends, but she is really like her faith is very important to her, and she's like very Christian. So for her, that really was like what a bad boy was. She's like, he didn't go to church, like he's so bad. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so cute.
And that reminds me, like, I don't know, like in the past, I was like, oh, you know what? I can date outside of my religion or whatever. But then now I don't know if I can.
Why
Why
is
would
that?
that be? Yeah.
Because I think that's, like, for example, for me, my faith is so much of who I am and like the daily choices that I make or like the kind of life that I want to live. So if we don't have that common, I don't know, like perspective and what makes us grounded to what we do, then I don't know if I can like build a future with him necessarily, which is very different from what I thought even like 2 years ago.
Wait, so back then you thought, oh, it doesn't matter what their background or faith is, we'll make it work kind of thing? Like if we vibe, we vibe?
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I consider this person more important than your faith or whatever, or your religion. But now I'm like, but then that's also part of who you are.
Okay,
So,
but is
I
it
don't know, it's just
because,
really
I mean,
strange.
you did mention that you've never been in a serious relationship. So maybe like having a not so serious relationship, like that kind of track record, you probably didn't have to face the issues that come with like having different deep rooted values and stuff. Or did that still surface?
I think it was, I don't know, because what do you say, like 혼전순결?
No sex before marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that has kind of
Saving yourself for Jesus.
Right.
Oh my God.
Wait,
See, when you
yeah.
put it, I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds wrong.
For maybe it's because, I don't know. I don't think about sex on the daily, on a daily basis kind of thing. But
Hush Mama can't relate to that. She's
True.
like, what are you talking
it's
about,
also because
girl?
I don't have anyone
I'm
to
thinking
think
about it right now.
with.
Probably, yeah.
So, but in the past, it was like, when that was brought up, I was super like, oh my God, no, like I gotta, I don't know, essentially save myself for Jesus. But then now it's like, is that really that important though? Like I just placed importance on the things that aren't really important anymore to me.
Or maybe it is important, but you've never really thought about why it's important. You've always just thought of it as like a rule.
Yes, because
Like a
church
forbidden-
brainwashes you.
Yeah. No, it does.
And then,
Honestly,
like shames you.
I think the shame thing is a huge part. Like, I remember when I lost my virginity, like I told my best friend, and honestly, like it's funny because all three of us have like a Christian background, but also my best friend at the time, who I'm just talking about, she did too. And when I told her, she legit cried for me because she was like, oh my God, because she was like feeling the shame for me. And at the time, I remember when she started crying, I started crying because I was like, wait, like,
So cute.
was that really bad? I don't know. It was,
But
and
it's also so wrong.
yeah. And then I've had friends where they were like, oh my God, you can re-virginate. You can
This is a very
So-
interesting topic.
I know.
Could you expand on re-virginating?
No, it's just like when you like, well, you fucked up. You didn't mean to lose your virginity. So you're going to like go back to not having sex. So people say that all the time. Like, oh, I'm not a virgin, but like I am saving myself for marriage.
I
so
see
there
what you
are
mean.
lots of people that do that.
It's like getting
I've,
back into the mode.
I've recently met a guy. He's like 10 years older than me. Like he's what, like 37. And he's doing that right now because he said he wants to save himself for his wife. He's not even dating anyone right now. Like, you know what I mean? So he's super serious about it. And it is specifically related to his faith. So that's an interesting concept because some people do it because they truly do want to save it for their special forever person. But some people, I think they do it because they get brainwashed and think that like, because for me, I feel like, whether you're a virgin or not, like that shouldn't have anything to do with your, what do you call it? Your
Identity.
not identity.
Or
What's
like-
that word I'm looking for? Like your respect. Like what do you?
Your virtue.
Yeah, your
and-
virtue.
yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But even the term losing your virginity just like triggers me the wrong way because why? Because losing has such a negative connotation. I think that leads to more shame.
You're gaining sex. No, just kidding. You ain't losing anything, honey. No, just kidding.
But yeah. So even thinking about that, I think that's why I wanted to start a serious relationship versus like just casually dating. Like I did a lot of like somtas. But
Flings.
yeah, I had a lot of flings, but they were never serious because of like timing issues and other things.
Okay, so let's get into the timing thing because I feel like most people can relate to that. Do you have any like specific story that kind of made you really feel that on a different level?
Yeah, so kind of this is side note about me. So I'm 금사빠, and that means like I fall for someone really easily. Like it doesn't take a lot to impress me. Which I don't know if that's a good thing, but anyways. So
You
like,
see the best in people.
like legit, if you take me out for coffee and if you like feed me,
Yeah.
I'll probably like
Put
I'm
a ring
yours.
on it.
Yeah. Anyways, so because of that, like I had started, I had a lot of flings with guys. And the most recent one was like before I moved back to Korea. Like this guy was clearly like expressing interest, and we like talked for like 3-4 hours via text, which I don't do. Like I'm more of like a face to face, and then let's talk type of person.
Offline.
Yeah, I am. But then like we talked on Katok for like 3 or 4 hours. So I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And then I was like, oh my goodness.
What are these feelings?
Yeah, seriously. And I was like, when is the things that we're talking about family. We're talking about like how we grew up. That's went
deep.
really, yeah, I know it like went really serious.
He's
So
not
then-
asking. He's not trying to send me a dick pic.
Oh no. And I said hi to him from church, like at church,
Oh, okay.
because he just came back from the military and he worked in Korea for a few years, blah blah blah. And then and we were like talking more and more, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was obviously very like 흔들려, but then because I was at the point in my life where I had to make a decision if I'm going to stay in the States or if I'm going to move back to Korea or move to Korea, and that I didn't want to base my decision that's going to like pretty much change my life based on this one fling that I'm having
Yeah.
that I don't even know if it's going to lead to anything serious. So I was like, you know what? If I'm not even going to stay in the States, is it worth starting? Is it worth taking it further? And he's a great guy. Like he's serious. He studies accounting. Like he knows what he wants in life. And he's like, I think 2 years older than me, 2 or 1. I can't even remember anymore. So like that, me having to choose to move back to Korea ended that fling because
okay.
I wasn't ready to be seriously committed if I didn't know what was going to happen to my life. Does that make sense? It was
Yeah.
just like,
So you're saying it
in
was
the
the
air.
timing when you were going through like, should I stay or not? And then this guy came in and you just like even eliminated that option completely just because you were like, I don't want that to factor into my decision. Damn, that's even hard to do. Like even you can think that, but it's really hard to actually follow through with that because it's hard to not let that affect you. How did that even like fizzle out? Or did you like have a frank discussion with him and
no, I just stopped responding to his texts.
you ghosted him?
I'm a terrible person.
Girl, you ghosted the nice guy who does accounting?
This is why nice guys become fuckboys. Because girls start ghosting them, and then they're like, you know what?
That's not
Fuck
actually
being a nice
true.
guy.
I feel like there are guys that
You know, Hush Mama,
just are fuckboys.
how many fuckboys did you create in your life?
I don't think I've created any.
Probably like at least 7.
No.
They're,
Seven's a
they're
solid
probably like
number.
listening to this episode like, oh my God, Hush Mama. I am this way because of you.
Okay, whatever. I'm just rejecting that notion.
But that's also because I'm really cautious and I have a lot of fear and anxieties when it comes to relationships. Like I consider myself a really confident person. Like I know who I am. But then when it comes to relationships, like I'm really bad at risk taking because in the past, like I think it's, I really thought about this. And I think it's because I had such a painful 짝사랑 experience. Like a one-sided love type of thing.
Wait, when was this?
This was a couple years. Actually, no, it wasn't that long ago. It was like maybe a year ago.
Oh.
It's still pretty fresh. Like the wounds are still there.
Damn.
It ain't healed yet.
Oh, shit.
So
Yeah.
can you tell us about how that ended?
Or even, just tell us about that.
So when I was like 짝사랑ing him, you know,
One-sided love.
yes, when I was one-sided loving him, it was so weird because I had dreams about him. And like he was the first guy that I legit prayed about.
Damn.
Yeah.
Prayed
And-
about as in like, is this the one,
yes.
Lord?
like, Lord, give me signs.
Yeah.
And I thought those signs were the signs. Like, I saw him at the gym, and I was like, oh my God, it's coincidence. No, it's not coincidence. It's heaven made, and all this bullshit that I made up in my mind. And like, he told me his 이상형, like, you know, his, what do you call it, ideal style. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Ideal woman.
I am she.
That's me.
Yes, it was
me.
Anyways, but then I knew that he wasn't a good guy
Why?
Because he was a bad boy.
because he has
kidding.
so many. No, he actually was
Really?
like, he just like played around with girls unknowing, like, so he didn't know that he was playing around with girls.
No way.
See, that's the part I was like, so do guys really, like, do people change? Because I don't think they do. It takes
Okay.
something really huge for someone to change,
Yeah.
like for your egg to crack.
I believe people can change, but what you said is absolutely correct. And like, it's going to take something big. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's a guy who has a lot in his past, and like, he's really lonely, so he really constantly wants that person. So his relationship changes all the time. Like, he
Switches.
dated- yeah.
Jumps
Girls,
from one girl to another.
And I
to
was
another.
in a really small community, so
He just dated everybody up in there.
he really dated like 3 people. But you know, those 3 people were people that I knew.
Okay.
So it's, anyways, long story short, it was just weird. And
you were hoping to be the fourth.
yes, no, I was hoping
Pick
to be the
me.
second,
Oh, okay. Oh,
And
or maybe
last.
third. Yes,
And so you
And-
knew that he had problems, but you're like, you know what? I want to love this guy and I wish he would change when
Yes.
I meet him. And
Yes.
that he would change for me.
yes, and I think a lot of girls have this like savior mindset of like,
They do.
oh my goodness,
It's
this
the
guy's gonna change
motherhood.
because of me.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's because
it
of
is.
Beauty and the Beast.
No. Yes. You know what? This is a side note. Disney and Korean dramas fucked up my love life. Like my view of love. It's really skewed if you think about it. I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
if
like a
that's
common
the-
Another
revela- it's
episode,
like a
but yeah,
con-
it's super interesting.
recent revelation that I had.
Yeah, I mean, if those are what you style your romantic like
Yeah.
ideal like
The
standards,
Beast was
then
like a
yeah.
badass, like abusive, but then the girl loves him to the end and he turns
He
into a
changes.
like a
charming,
handsome
prince.
prince, has everything in the world. Yeah. And it's, yeah.
Yeah. So back to your one-sided love.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
you were really hoping for it to work out.
And it didn't. He dated a couple other, one other person, and
Did you ever approach him and say, 고백, confess?
I like you. Did you guys?
I
you
did.
How did you do it?
when it ended, you know, I'm really scared if he listens to this episode, so I might not. Anyway, I might not tell my friends
Nah,
that
you
this
gotta
happened.
tell us.
Yeah.
So actually, I can't even remember. Oh, like I said, it's a really small community, so we actually ended up being good friends.
Okay.
we became good friends. Traveled together.
Oh,
and
damn.
Then we
That
Just the
kinda
two of you?
Oh no, like a
Okay.
bunch of other people.
I was gonna say.
And then we were traveling, and I was like confused because he was single, and I'm single. Was single then too.
And he's a guy and I'm a girl.
Yes, and he was like being really 다정해.
Oh, okay. He's being nice.
He was being super nice and like really gentleman, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Okay.
So then I came back, and I was like super mad because I was like, I'm not going to fall back into this cycle of like, oh my God, I think he's the one, and then like pray to God about it. You know, I was just like, you know, this chapter of my one-sided love is finished. I kind of ended that in my mind, but it was unfair for him because he didn't even know. So then I called him up. We had dinner, and I don't even know how it came up. He started being really awkward around us. So then I think I called him to confront him, like, what's going on? Do you not want to be friends with us anymore? And he had his issues, like, not issues. He had his excuses, and he was telling me why he was being awkward. And he said it's because he was always 눈치 buying me to see if I was in a good mood or a bad mood. And I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I'm not the person that like makes people like,
Uncomfortable.
yeah. Or well, I didn't think I was. And he was like, because you really hated me once. So I don't want you to hate me again. And I was like,
So he said he was treading lightly around you because he didn't want to piss you off.
yeah. And
Did
I
you
was-
actually hate him before?
Oh, yes. And so I was like, do you even know why I hated you? And he was like, well, I heard it's because I'm like a bad guy. Like I said some inappropriate, like I did some bad things. And I was like, no, it's actually because I really liked you. That's what I told him.
I'm gonna make a bet that he knew.
Yeah. For sure.
There's a chance he didn't know, of course, but I would say 80% he knew that you liked him.
I
for
think
sure.
so too. Because guys, oh my God. And it was when he was still in college. Like I called him. Like I made all these moves. It's impossible that he didn't know.
Yeah, no.
But
Yeah.
anyways, so I was like, it's because I really liked you. And there came a point in my life where I was like, you know what? I'm really, really sorry to myself that the guy that I chose to like and to really like seriously like is only this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that frustration and anger
You
towards
took it out on
me
him.
lashed out onto him. So like it went from like I really think you're, you know, a great guy to like I fucking hate you. So
But I love you.
yeah. And I expressed that. Like I can't really hide my feelings and emotions. And so he said all he knew was that I didn't like him, was that I hated him. Because I was telling all my friends, I was like, oh my God, I hate him. I can't stand him anymore. And that was because I was like so disappointed in myself that my standards have gone down that much because of how lonely I was.
And also, if you don't want to like someone anymore that you like, you have to start hating them, right?
Yes. Which is so sad. But anyways.
Oh, that is sad. But it's also rough because in these cases, it's like you are breaking up with someone you never even dated.
Yes.
And that I feel
Yes.
like that makes it more painful because it's like, okay, why the fuck am I going through all these breakup emotions and like going through the stages of like forgetting about someone? Like, okay, I'm going to hate him first. Fuck him. But it's like, you know, you never dated to begin with. So that's a whole other level of...
And that's frustrating too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But he has actually changed a lot. He's grown a lot.
What
Are you
makes
guys
think
still in
that?
touch?
We still... no, we don't really talk.
Okay.
But compared to a couple years ago, I really think he matured.
You stalk his Instagram, and he has deep captions in all his photos.
Oh no, he doesn't. He's not really on Instagram.
So then,
we
how
talk.
would you? So what makes you think he
We
changed?
talked. Like I said, it's a small community, so we
Okay.
see each other a lot, like at church, and
Right.
like we live really close, things like that. We hung out. Yeah.
Well, then I guess, you know, there could
But not
always be
anymore.
a future... But no.
He's dating a really good friend of mine now.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And
But
How
they
small
were
is this
like
community? This is
Yeah.
like
It's pretty small.
literally his entire like dating history in one community neatly.
How do you feel
packed
about
up.
that? Do you think they're a good match?
I actually shipped them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's very big of you.
That's painful.
It was and it wasn't, because I truly love the both of them, and I can say that like really from the bottom of my heart. Like I love them as friends now, and I really want the best of them, and they're very similar people, and everyone has been teasing them since the beginning of time.
Okay.
That
So
they should go out.
yeah, and they like neither of them really like saw each other as male female for like until recently, and I think I'm gonna take the credit of planting it in her. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
hey, did you ever think about him?
Yeah.
Think about him. I think you'd be cute together. And
Yeah.
then,
And it
now,
worked.
lo and behold,
Inception. Oh my gosh, I think that happened to me once. Like, this is a quick side note. I had a friend, she was really close to me, and before anybody like says I'm a bitch, like this was when we were like 14, so it's like my first boyfriend. But basically I had a friend, she was obsessed with a guy and she wouldn't stop talking about how great he was and like, oh, he's so cute, he's so good, let's go look at him, like I love him, blah,
Let's
blah.
go
And
look
she,
at
and she
him.
would just always gush about him. I never would have even noticed the guy, but then the funny thing is she would drag me everywhere to go like see this guy. And I mean, Joy, you know about my first boyfriend.
Yes, I remember this.
Wait, yeah. So, anyways,
And then you're like, damn.
no, it wasn't even that. But basically, I think the only reason we ever even like saw each other that often and like even
With the
thought
guy,
about
you mean?
yeah. What was because she like dragged me to like all of his practices, like soccer practice, basketball, like everything. So I think, yeah. And then he started liking me. And then shortly afterwards, we started dating. But if I really,
That is savage.
no, but if I really look back on it, it was just like, yo, like
Gosh, Mama, you was
I was
Man,
14. Give me a break.
that is savage. Where was your friend in this? Like, what did she do? Did she?
Are you
like,
still friends?
Did she die? And
I
Oh
wanna,
my God.
I want to say no, but like also there's no
of
bad
course
blood.
not.
Whatever. We were kids.
You're 14.
Whatever.
We're
I was
14. We think
sexier.
that we're like
I was clearly
top
the better
of the world.
catch.
Oh.
No, I mean that's like a whole other story. Maybe I'll get into it next time. But honestly, do we really want to hash out high school drama? Maybe.
Guys,
Stay tuned.
I recently had a mini high school reunion.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I had
Like your Thai high school reunion?
and they're Koreans, but so I went to the banquet with one of the guys.
Like as a
And-
date.
Yeah. And like people used to tease us, and I think we may or may not have had feelings for each other, and never really wanted to.
They resurfaced at
Oh,
this?
no, no, no.
Oh no, my bad.
No, because he's dating someone now.
Oh,
He's
okay.
dating another friend of mine.
This is like
I'm telling you,
This is a
it's a
trend.
trend.
wow.
Yeah, that's why I've been thinking about it. I'm
You're
like,
a
oh
lucky
my God.
charm.
Well, when's my lucky charm gonna work for me?
It's like Bridesmaid. The movie.
I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like
oh no,
that
no,
friend.
The dresses one.
The
Like,
27
27 dresses.
Yeah.
dresses.
Yeah, and speaking of timing, so this is something that I need to catch up with Hush Mama about. But so I also met up with a guy that we met at the same camp that that Anam and I were in.
Oh yeah, we met
And-
at camp.
Yes, and there was another guy there, and everyone used to have a crush on him.
Who? I mean, we could talk about this later, but yeah, go on.
Anyways, I'm not going to say his name, but he came to Korea last week, 2 weeks ago, and we met up, and it was really weird
Yo,
because
you can't tell Anam this. She's gonna like swipe him.
Well, okay,
Anam's already like, oh, he's already back. Like,
dude,
he's
no.
gone now. But anyways, so long story short, I didn't even know he was alive. Like he's a pretty offline dude. But then you know how like Kakao Talk, like you see whose birthday it is.
Yeah, it was his birthday.
It was his birthday, and it was just his birthday.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know I had his katok, right?" So I just like
Wished
shot him a
him?
katok. I was like, "Hey, happy birthday!" And he responded. I honestly
said,
didn't know he
"Let's meet
responded
up."
because his profile picture is from like 8 years ago.
Okay.
But then he responded. And he was like, "Hey, where are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm in Korea." And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Korea in a couple weeks. We should hang out." So fast forward, we actually did meet up.
Sparks?
And I was like, oh my God, you're cuter than before.
Oh, really?
Like you have really,
you have
Aged
really,
well.
Yeah.
yes, you've aged well. And he's in medical school.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh my God, hot damn. Like
Yeah.
he is mature. Like he's sweet. He's nice. He's successful. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I gotta
you
kidnap this guy.
Yes, you are
Gotta wife
almost
him.
everything I want in a guy.
Again, you just mentioned everything that pretty much every girl would want.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah,
what
pretty
girl
typical.
wouldn't want that?
Yes. And like he's quiet and I can't stop talking. Like, you know, I thought it was like, oh my God, we would actually like, I don't know. I had all these like delusions. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, is it him? Is it him? But really, God might be like, what the hell are you doing, Joy? He's
Yeah.
just
He's
like,
just a guy.
yeah. But anyways, so I was like, oh my God, should I like,
Should I pounce on him?
yeah, like, should I express my
Yeah.
feelings first? Like, should I talk to him? Like, should I
Yeah.
send him katoks? Like, should I
You
remind
really are
him?
a kumsapa. You literally just
I
like, fell for the
am.
guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, timing. He goes to medical school in Singapore.
Oh.
And
That's not that far.
And he was like, I don't think I can do long distance relationships because the guy there was a third guy who came with us
Oh.
to hang out. He was like, I'll introduce and I'll hook you up with a girl. And he was like, I don't know if I can do long distance.
Okay.
In the meantime, like back, I'm telling both of them like, oh no, I think I can do a long distance relationships, hoping he'll get the hint, but I don't think he did.
Yeah.
So again,
Girl,
timing.
you gotta go to Singapore. It's your destiny.
Legit, I'm thinking of going to Singapore in December.
To see him?
Maybe not to see just him. I have friends in Singapore.
But it's probably
but
one
yeah,
of your-
just
But really-
one of yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just one of the
If I'm
minor
honest.
reasons.
That's
oh,
cute.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess stay tuned on that. Like, keep us posted if that does work out. But, you know,
Yeah.
long distance is rough
It is.
as a person who's done many long distance. I mean, I think it's definitely doable, but I'm at the point where it's like, I never want to do one again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
It is really hard.
Yeah, but I think it really, like, if you meet someone that you really, really like, then you don't do long distance because you want, well, maybe Hush Mama did, but most of the time you do long distance because you really want it to work out and you really like that person. So.
Yeah.
So then, Joy, I have a question. Maybe we can wrap up this episode on this. After all your experiences and after all your kind of like mini revelations, what are you looking for now? And if you had to describe yourself for a potential future bae, what would your pitch be?
Your elevator pitch.
Oh. Like, what am I looking for?
Yeah, what are you looking for and what do you have to offer?
I'm a pretty, if I do say so myself, I think I'm a pretty damn dope lady. Woman.
Can't confirm. Joy is so fucking hilarious. Like, we'll probably have her on again sometime.
I'd love to be back. I think I'm funny. I have a job that
I have a job.
Yes, I have a job, yeah. But it's like not just any old job. I think this is the job that I really feel like this is my career. Like this is
your calling.
Yes. In a big word. My calling, my vision. And I love kids. So if it pop out some babies, I'll kind of guarantee that they turn out to be not terrible human beings. So yeah, but but also I'm pretty extra. But it takes a very special person to handle
All
me.
the best people are extra, though.
That is true.
Thank you.
Do you ever
Amen.
want to meet a non-extra person? Like, hell no.
Yeah, I don't want no bland guy. Like, I want some like spices on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Some gochujang.
Yes, more than just salt and pepper.
Yeah, you need something stronger than sriracha sauce for sure.
Yes. But yeah, and what I'm looking for, I think I'm looking for someone who is very different than me, actually.
Do you mean like different as in your actual opposite or just
Like
someone with a different background, like different set of like values? Because I feel like sometimes you want someone different, but actually you still want your core values to be the same, stuff like that. Yeah.
No, you're right. I think that's true. Like I really, hope our core values are similar, but differences in personality maybe, because I really think opposites attract.
Like if you're very like out there, maybe someone who's more mellow and maybe someone who can like calm you down when you're really up.
Yeah, be like, Joy, chill out, bro. It's not that big a deal. You're fine. And yeah, so but then someone who can still help myself be me and really grow and mature together. I know it sounds super like, rainbows and butterflies and all that, but
who doesn't want rainbows and butterflies? We all want it.
Wait.
And Joy is going to be on our Instagram. Y'all DMs her and
slide into those DMs.
Yeah, slide into those DMs.
Wait, I just wanted to ask, I know we're like wrapping up, but wait, because you're in Korea, did you do any like blind dates? Because that's what everyone does when someone comes to Korea and they say like, and you tell them you're single.
Oh, it's
Yes.
true. We got to talk about that.
Yeah, have you? Because I feel like
have.
that is such a Korean thing. It's like, you single? I'm gonna hook you up.
I have. And I still, I still have friends who are like, hey, do you want to go on a blind date? But, oh my God, this was like a week after I came back to Korea. My dad tried to set me up with someone. My dad.
No.
Here is a good, what do you call it? Here's a pro tip. Just don't go out with guys that your parents try to set you up with. Unless
True
you're seriously thinking of like settling down. Because parents' ideal type of guy is very different
from what you want.
Yes.
So this was actually, so in Korea, we would call it a son, right? It's not, it's kind of like a step above a blind date. It's more like, it's when parents set each other's children's up for the purpose of marriage. It's kind of like it's not like an arranged marriage, but it's like
Indians have arranged marriages and like that first meeting, and Koreans have son.
Yeah.
But I think for son though, it doesn't have to be your parents who set it up, but it's a blind date with the intention of like marriage as a goal.
It's like you guys aren't here to like flirt. Like you guys are here to like lay down the facts about who you are, who
it's
that
like,
person is.
This is how much
like,
money I have.
Yeah.
Let's combine our assets. I don't know.
Yeah. This is the job I have. This is my family. Like things
I
like
want
that.
7 kids.
Just like right down to business.
Wait, so you actually went on that?
I was forced to go.
Holy shit.
And you went on it with your dad?
With my padre. Yes. Here's
That's-
how it was set up.
I'm sorry, that is so fucked up.
That's
oh my
awkward.
God. You don't have to tell me. I already know. So my dad, came to Korea and he was like, hey, he's really awkward. He's like, hey, make sure that you don't do anything on Thursday. Like, let's.
Why Thursday?
I was like,
It's a good day.
what
Thursday,
about
Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday is the new Friday.
It's Friday Junior.
Friday Junior. That's
But anyway, so
adorable.
my dad is like, oh, I have somewhere that I want to go with you. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I tell him, like, who am I meeting? But off the top of my head, I thought it was, like a pastor that he wanted me to like say hi to and build connections with and whatever shit. And I was like, oh my God, if it's a pastor, I'm not going. Like, I'm not interested in meeting your pastor friends.
The
like,
Christian Network.
Like, no gracias. And he was like, oh no, it's not a pastor. Just, thought you and I could go out for coffee. My dad does not drink coffee. So immediately
the
I'm like,
red
what the
flags.
hell is going
He
on?
fumbled.
So, and then I ask him and I like pry him and he's like, oh, well, fine. It's just, I heard that like my friends have this son and he lives in Hawaii and I thought you guys could maybe talk together and become friends.
and like have babies in Hawaii.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Something
God.
like that. So long story short, we went and met at Loteria, which is like the Korean McDonald's.
Wait, what? The sun
Loteria.
went down
Yes.
Oh shit.
at Loteria.
That's a whole new low, girl. Like,
What kind of sun was this?
wait, so don't tell me he came with his dad.
He came with his parents.
Mom and dad.
My
Mom,
God.
dad, and his aunt.
And you met
His
at this
aunt?
burger joint.
His aunt.
Like
Get the
this
fuck outta here.
McDonald's.
Are you?
I went
You're
with my dad.
joking.
I wish.
Did he get the
I was
set with the
joking.
toy?
That would have been a plus.
It's like, okay, I'm going to marry this guy now.
Yeah, that would have earned him some serious.
Anyway.
And then you know one of those
Oh my,
people
I
who
don't even
always
wanna-
ask for a specific toy? They're like, no, not this one, like that one, please.
It's the Avengers 2019 version, please. No. But oh my God. And so fast forward, we're there. I want to shoot myself. My dad is saying things like, oh, after I talked to Joy recently, I thought she can't marry a Korean guy. She has to get with the guy that's
God.
international, whatever shit. And I'm like, oh my God, Dad, please shut up. But I can't say that, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like telling him with my eyes, I'm like, Dad, I need you to stop talking. I need you to like just stop or
So
leave
never
or something.
let your dad wingman
Or just
you.
die.
And it was bad. The guy wasn't bad though. Like I honestly think if it was just the two of us that met up, I might have been
What
more
were they
interested.
fucking thinking? Why was the aunt there? Is so many questions.
And the mom of
and
him.
the McDonald's.
yeah,
We relocated to a restaurant, but again, it was a mandu place.
dumplings.
Yes, dumplings.
Okay, that's an upgrade. But oh my God, that is awkward. I mean, yeah, I'm secondhand cringing so hard.
I'm having stomach aches just like thinking about it.
So then after that, like no contact, just ended there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate. Well, now you know.
Is it though? I don't know. I'm kind of glad it didn't work out.
No. I'm saying like, I'm not saying it's unfortunate it didn't work out. I'm saying it's unfortunate you had this experience.
Oh yes, it was very unfortunate. Yes, very
Yeah.
unfortunate indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I fought with my dad. I was like, Dad, thou shall not
Thou shall not
enter
ever do this again.
my dominion of love life or lack
Yeah.
thereof. Like
Right.
it's nunya.
And then
Yeah.
what was your dad's response? Is he like, okay, I
And
get
I was
it?
like, yeah, I'm sorry that I did that. And I was like, yeah, you should be, Father. I'm not
That's
talking to
cute.
you.
he did that elevator pitch for you. I wonder what he like said.
But my dad said, like, I can see why my dad wanted to set us up.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe you guys should have, I don't know.
Maybe you should like slide into his DMs.
Yeah,
and
slide
see.
into his DMs.
Oh, we couldn't find each other on Instagram. We couldn't find each other on Facebook. So I don't know if it's meant to be.
We'll see. There are a lot of things that I need to follow up with you then. The cute med school guy, the loteria blind date,
Son.
ton.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
So I think this is a great feel good spot to end it on. We're like cringing hard.
Yeah, it's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
And hopefully you get a lot more zzAnis coming your
Yeah,
way.
from someone other than
Hit
Shin.
me up. Oh, yeah. Maybe I won't say goodnight. 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 Maybe I won't say goodnight.